let's first and foremost start with Marianne Williamson. What personally, before I talk, what did you think of Marianne Williamson?
I couldn't hear some of this, like a lot of the stuff she was saying because she like slurred a lot. Do you feel like that? Like her voice was kind of funny.
It was distracting, you know, because like she was saying some good stuff, but yeah, I think just her voice, it was distracting from some of the things she was saying, and that's why she's like a meme now. I do like a lot of the things she said though. The one that I took a note on was when she was talking about the kids, you know, at the border in detention centers. She said that when you take a child from a parent's arms, that's kidnapping. So right now what's happening at the border is state-sponsored and government-sponsored kidnapping. And that needs to stop. And she also went on to say that that is inflicting so much trauma on these kids. And that's exactly it. I mean, how are they ever going to trust anyone or anything again? Oh my gosh, there's a...
Oh, God, hi, boy.
Oh my
That scared me.
Okay.
I just like looked over. All right, he's the new guest on here. Hey, boy.
Special guest.
Oh my gosh. Hello. Oh.
What do you think about night 2 of... Oh, okay. Let's talk about how dunked on Biden got.
Oh my God, yes.
He was definitely, in my opinion, the biggest loser of the night, and I am so satisfied that that was the case, because in our first video, Johnny predicted that he would really be coddled by...
Yeah, I did predict that, and I was proven wrong, actually, which is really exciting.
Which is good.
Because I did not expect that to happen. I thought if at all that was going to happen, it would be by the other candidates.
But not only were the other candidates wrecking him, but also the moderators were kind of calling him out.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I have it in my notes. The moderators brought up the fact that when him and Obama were in office, deportations went up by millions.
Yeah, they told him that. And I remember when we were watching, Natalie said he looks betrayed.
Yeah.
I don't know if Biden knew, but he was like...
But it's like, no. They're just saying what happened. Like, millions of people were deported under your...
You know what's funny is
candidacy.
a lot of liberals think that the Obama administration was great, but people who actually like was listening to really what was going on know that the Obama administration wasn't that great.
Yeah.
But now that Biden's running, he's going to shed light on how terrible they actually were.
And we're about to talk about Kamala and a Harris.
Kamala and the Harris.
We're about to talk about her in a second, because we're both not fans of her at all, but I am so happy that someone on that stage brought up the fact that he not only sympathized for segregationists, but he literally fought to oppose busing.
And it's funny because it seems like a conflict of interest between the centrist media, because they love Biden, but they also love Kamala Harris. So right now they have to report that there's like a feud going on.
Yeah.
And what they're usually framing it as is an epic clash between Biden and Kamala Harris. And I mean, it was only epic because Biden got destroyed.
Yeah.
Like that's the only epicness of it. And to be honest, neither of them have any really redeeming qualities. Kamala Harris, she has the identity politics thing going on because she's black and she's a woman. Even though there's some I guess thing going on where people are saying she's not black. Have you heard about that?
I mean, that's racist.
Someone was saying that it was the Russians that are saying this. What I'm trying to say is like, Kamala Harris is also not a good candidate. Like, even though we're praising her for dunking on Biden, she is not a good candidate at all. She was going for what were we reading today? She wanted to prosecute immigrant like juveniles, even if they weren't charged with a felony. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. It goes along with her wanting to jail like truant parents for their kids not going to schools. So she's very big about let's just prosecute them or punish them even though we don't have any evidence. Like, she has no faith in people, especially marginalized people.
Near the end, Bernie addressed Biden because Biden was talking about like, oh, I brought hundreds of veterans home from the Iraq War. Oh my god. That is a wasp.
Wasp! I'm running away from this wasp, leaving Natalie to fend for herself.
And Bernie was like, okay, hold on. This is the difference between me and Biden. I
Did not vote for the Iraq
did not
war.
vote for the Iraq war.
And you did.
Yeah, and I also fought to make
Ha-ha.
sure that we didn't go to that war, you know?
Yeah, I think Biden was weird. He couldn't finish his sentences and he was like stumbling like an old man who's never debated before.
Yep.
Did you notice that?
I did
Like
notice that.
whenever somebody called him out for actually being terrible, he'd just be like, well, yeah, and like he couldn't finish his sentences, man. And they also asked him, what's the first thing you're gonna do when you're president? And he said, beat Donald Trump, which is kind of hilarious because like once you beat Donald, like you beat Donald Trump before you become president.
How did you feel personally that Bernie did overall?
Neutral. I felt like he didn't really hurt his case, but he didn't really make it better. He just kind of said what he usually says, which is fine with me.
It's totally fine, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's been a big criticism from some people is that, oh my gosh, Bernie's just saying the same thing he said in 2016. I could predict what Bernie's gonna say. But why is that a criticism? I think that's actually a really defining quality about him is he's always been on the right side of policies and history. Bernie basically was saying, yes, I will raise taxes on the middle class, but people won't have to pay co-pays or deductibles for their health insurance anymore, so they're actually going to be saving money. But it was just so, like, it made me cringe when he said that a little bit, because I was like, dude, CNN and all these corporate media outlets are going to take that part where he says, yes, taxes will raise for the middle class, and just like plop that somewhere without any context, because that's what they do to him all the time. So that's why they asked him that question, was because that's what they were trying to get him to say. But the thing is, his answer is correct, but he should have known better that that's what CNN was trying to do, and NBC. What channel was it on?
Telemundo.
Basically, with the thing with debates is they're very performative, and if you're a good speaker, you look like you win, right? And Bernie's an amazing speaker, but the really defining thing about him is that he actually gets stuff done.
Oh yeah, he's like, everybody has great ideas, but we need to have the guts to take on these special interests. And him ending with that is really important to remember, because everybody's gonna walk the walk or talk the talk of Bernie Sanders, but not walk the walk of Bernie Sanders. Someone was talking about gun buybacks. Who was that again?
Swalwell.
Was it Swalwell?
I think it was, right?
What about Michael Bennett?
Oh, no, I'm pretty sure
It
it
was
was
Swalwell?
Swalwell.
Well, he was talking about buybacks, and he was arguing with Bernie Sanders because Bernie didn't seem to be originally for gun buybacks. But then after arguing, Bernie was like, okay, we'll do gun buybacks if people want it. Like he didn't have that much of a like opposition to it. So it was funny that it was just a funny argument.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Swalwell was trying to pin Bernie and make him seem not progressive on that issue.
Yeah.
But Bernie basically just said, well, if people want it, then we'll do it. Bernie repeated what he usually says. So I guess more people were tuned in, which is nice. But at the same time, it seemed like Bernie realized, I don't actually have to talk that much because everyone's trying to be me. Because we had Gillibrand. She kept talking about her legislation with Bernie. And so why would we choose Gillibrand if Bernie's right there?
I think the thing that bothered me and a lot of other people was that Kamala seemed to be like the winner of the debate.
Yeah. I mean, she was, but the thing is, it's a debate, and she won the debate.
Yeah.
She's not winning like the people or what the people want to vote for.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't really have that much policy to lean on anyway. I also think it's funny how in the beginning she was like, we're not gonna have a food fight, everyone. Like she was like above everyone else. And then she brings out the busing thing, and I'm glad she did. But if anything was a food fight, like she threw a pie at Biden's head, you know? Like that was the pie to the face. So
Oh, let's talk about Pete.
why? I graduated college. Doesn't he say that?
I do not remember that, but sure.
Yeah, that's Pete Buttigieg. Pretty boring.
Take the time when a candidate says something to be like, okay, so what policy did they just propose? Like, please take the time to actually think about that, because
Do you think people aren't thinking?
I don't.
Y'all better
honestly.
be thinking
I think
out
they're
there.
okay. Some of you I know do, but
Some of you are stupid.
But some of you guys,
I think the UBI is pretty good.
no. Here's $1,000 for you. Go have fun.
To every single person.
Yeah.
Andrew Yang, by the way, did not talk at all. He talked 3 minutes. We were talking about how his slogan is math or something. Remember that?
Yeah. Dude,
Math.
I went to school for math.
I went to college.
I think the only thing that's math involved for his campaign is the number 1,000.
You're in math? Oh wait.
Oh
What?
my god, there's bugs. All right.
Where's the bugs?
I did.
Let's talk about Cenk Uygur.
Okay.
Because Cenk Uygur loves Elizabeth Warren.
Oh!
And I wanna ask Cenk, if you're watching this, which you're probably not, but if you do watch this, why are you so insistent on Warren when we have
Dude.
Bernie Sanders?
So many, like the whole TYT staff loves her.
It's really bizarre because Warren was a Republican for 40 years, dude. Like 40 years. Is she even a Democrat, honestly? And like she keeps putting out this policy, but you know the policy does not reach the standards of Bernie
Okay,
Sanders.
she did not vocally oppose
The coup in Venezuela.
Yeah,
Criticized Trump for peace talks with North Korea.
I can't.
Why the heck do you
stand that.
why do you criticize Trump for peace talks and why is there a fly on me?
Like literally, out of all the terrible things Trump has done, because he's done a lot of terrible things.
peace
the-
talks with North Korea.
The one redeeming, not even redeeming, like.
Yeah, but isn't Kim Jong-un a dictator and Trump wants to be a dictator
Okay, so
too?
is the better alternative to let there be war?
Okay.
Warren defended Israel's bombing of schools in Gaza. And AIPAC,
Ew, why is there water on my head?
I spit on you, on May 15th. So this was recent, okay? She said, climate change is undermining our military readiness.
And Bernie has said no more wars. So who's more progressive? I mean, that's wild.
Thank you for watching The Far Left Show. And
Doot doodle doot.
subscribe for more content.